Do you remember 2020, when the world seemed to be turned upside down by the COVID-19 virus? The Formula One season at that time also had to bow to the pandemic and completely revise its schedule. Instead of starting in Australia in March, the season finally kicked off in July in Austria with 2 races right away. Such a double feature was repeated shortly afterwards at Silverstone. In the end, there were 17 instead of 22 GPs, most of which took place in Europe. Of course, Mercedes and Lewis Hamilton didn't care about the chaos. The Britain and the German team became world champions for the 7th time. Mercedes even for the 7th time in a row. Mercedes' superiority was also evident in the fact that the number 2 in the team, Valtteri Bottas, pretty easily became runner-up in the Driver Championship. Why am I telling you all of this? Well, because Alain has done it again and just released a brand new season pack for Automobilista 2 and the 2020 F1 season, which you can download for free on Overtake and install using the AMS2 Content Manager. As always, you can find the link in the description below. Alain's pack includes all 10 teams and 23 drivers from the 2020 F1 season, including high-quality liveries, in-game Reiza-style previews, accurate helmets, suits and gloves for each driver, a custom AI driver performance file for realistic grip behavior, and, last but not least, a fully functional XML Selector and scenario launcher. With that, you can choose between specific preset race scenarios and replay a specific GP from that season in the most authentic way possible. Once you have decided on a scenario, all the correct textures and the real driver grid with individual performance values for each driver will be loaded for that scenario. So for example, you can assume that Pierre Gasly will be able to compete for victory at Monza. Keep in mind though that there is no default scenario. The game always loads the last one you selected. Speaking of authenticity, as mentioned, the COVID season took place mainly on European tracks, a circumstance that also benefits your custom championship in AMS2. Of the 17 actual races, 9 GPs can thus be authentically recreated in AMS2. For the rest, well, a little creativity and flexibility might be needed. Please also note that there is only one generic car in Automobilista 2. No matter which livery or team you choose, the driving experience is always the same. But that's not a bad thing at all, on the contrary, because unlike the official F1 game by Codemasters, the F Hybrid Gen 2 class in AMS2 offers a much more authentic simulation-like experience with clear advantages in physics, handling and FFB. And unlike the F Hybrid Gen 3, the equivalent of the current F1 cars, the Gen 2 feels a tad less like a tank on rails. That's at least something I really enjoyed when I was driving the car again for a few hours. And by the way, it was particularly satisfying to elegantly clear Lance Stroll out of the way before he could become a threat to me. Jacko then was an accident. Sorry buddy.